We often hear about image as a growing concern in many sports, including All-Star. So how do you think that our image influences how our athletes see themselves?
I feel that the image that the sport portrays can really have an effect on how the athlete feels and how they value themselves, and even how they behave in and outside of the program. You know, the image that a sport projects really can have an effect in molding the self-esteem of our athlete.
So self-esteem, maybe we should focus from being about our image to about our athlete's self-esteem. So if an athlete has a healthy body awareness, this will influence them on the mat and on the Marley.
Yeah, I definitely feel that when we have an athlete with a strong self-image, it's going to play into their self-esteem. And we know that self-esteem is very much linked and connected to health behaviors. So when we have an adolescent that has high self-esteem, good social support, they're going to show much more health-promoting behaviors and fewer health-risking behaviors. But that adolescent that's insecure and has a lower self-esteem, well, they're much more likely to report a lot of health-risking behaviors, such as restrictive eating and other measures they'll take to get to that lower body weight. And when this occurs during puberty, during adolescence, it can really set the athlete up for a lifelong set of problems and issues that can occur. Wow. Such as like the female athlete triad.
So tell me about the female athlete triad.
Well, the triad, as it's known, occurs most often in sports that encourage and emphasize leanness and a low body mass, so athletes would have easier chance to do some of their skills for success. But this emphasis on low body mass and leanness really can cause the athlete to restrict their eating in a way that's very unhealthy. And then that poor nutrition, combined with all the hard workouts that they do, will then lead to a situation in their body that's going to throw off their hormones, affect their cycle, and even deteriorate their bones.
So what else should we be looking for?
Well, when we have that lean athlete and we hear them talking about restricting their calories, and we see an obsession with body image and body weight, and then we start hearing them complain about some of the symptoms that we'd hear for someone who was restricting their calories, like having cold hands and cold feet, feeling fatigued all the time. And these athletes even have a delayed healing response, so they're more likely to get stress fractures and repeated stress fractures, and even illnesses and simple bruises and cuts are going to take longer to heal.
Wow, so that leads to this question. What's our role? What's our responsibility as a coach in regards to an athlete's self-esteem?
Well, you know, we feel we have to be aware. Like, first and foremost, as coaches, we have to be aware that this exists and that we can't ignore it. And when we see issues like this, that we have to take action. So the worst thing we could do is really to encourage it, but we definitely can't ignore it.
Right. So if we get some insight, if we have a moment that's like caution, like being at a yellow light, what should we do next?
Well, I really feel that if you're a coach and you witness this, then you got to bring this into the team. You got to incorporate the head coach or the program manager, get the owners involved, but definitely bring the parents and the family in for some of their insight and input. And we would definitely encourage them to have a discussion with their family doctor.
Wow, thanks for your insight, Dr. Kennedy. You really are helping us make a difference, not only in our sport, but for all of our athletes. So thank you.
Thank you.